If your handwriting needs a little help, I've got the solution for you. My guest is Cody McCallum from Cody Calligraphy.
Hi.
Tell me, I'm so glad you came in today because I'm thinking this time of year, wouldn't it be fun to send out handwritten Christmas cards in beautiful handwriting?
Absolutely, yeah.
And you can teach people how to do that.
Definitely, yeah. So I'm a professional calligrapher. I teach classes throughout the city of Kingston, so I'd be happy to teach anyone who wants to learn.
So calligraphy is the art of beautiful handwriting? Is that a good way of describing it?
Yeah, exactly. The art of handwriting, the art of letter writing. And we use a variety of different tools, like different pens and things like that. Some traditional, some a little bit more modern. But yeah, it really is about connecting people to the art of handwriting, for sure.
Because it's a lot, it seems to have been lost. You know, and I was surprised that a lot of younger people don't do cursive. They print everything.
Yes, yeah, and I believe in Ontario it just came back into the curriculum, cursive handwriting. But for a while there, for a few years, it was stripped from the curriculum. So there's quite a few young people who don't know how to cursive write at all, including some young teachers. So it's very interesting. It's a really interesting mix of people who have never learned cursive writing, or perhaps some who have done some in school but have really forgotten about it. We're in such a digital age now where we're just typing and texting. So it's a really great way to kind of bring it back to basics.
Mind you, someone my age, we look at it as like having a secret language.
Yes.
That we can write something to each other and they can't read it because they can't read our cursive handwriting.
Yeah. I've taught some of the like younger students, like about 12, 13, and sometimes when you're writing in a cursive style, they'll kind of look at that letter and be like, what is that supposed to be? And you're like, right.
Right, of course you would not know that. Yeah. Yes. Are there different styles of calligraphy, or
Definitely.
There's some that are more elaborate than others?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's so many different styles. Even in just the Western category, there's many different styles. Some of the more traditional scripts are something like copperplate or Spencerian. My style kind of takes from those styles and makes it a little bit more modern and contemporary. And then I would say a lot of the contemporary calligraphers out there have their own styles. So it really, there's a lot to find out there. And certainly a lot of the other types of calligraphy, like Chinese calligraphy or Arabic calligraphy, is so beautiful and so elaborate and such an art form in and of itself. There's just a wide variety of skills out there.
You do workshops.
Yes.
on someone say, geez, you know, this sounds like something different, something I'd like. Why would someone want to learn calligraphy?
Great question. For a variety of different ways. I know when I started learning calligraphy about 5 years ago now, and I just took a class on a whim. I just wanted something fun to do, something creative. I was working a very stressful sales job at the time in downtown Toronto, and I just needed an outlet. So I find a lot of folks who are looking for a creative outlet really find calligraphy. It's almost like akin to adult coloring, but I find it's much more structured, and it's a little bit more accessible for people. And I think for others, it really is about that relaxation and mindfulness practice. A lot of my students will find, like, once they start, it really is soothing, and they start to kind of zone out a little bit and really get into the drills of it. So I find it's a really great way at the end of your workday to just unwind and grab a pen and practice your drills. And
I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to have like a calligraphy party?
Definitely.
You know, kind of limit the amount of wine they drink, but you know, however,
yes.
You know, and everybody do something and learn how to form properly. I'm doing this, so I stop doing that. But learn how to properly form letters and so on. That'd be kind of fun.
Definitely, yeah. And I've done birthday parties, wedding showers, different forms of events. So yeah, it's a great way to get a group of friends together if it's a more private event. Or come out to one of the public ones and meet somebody new.
Oh, that would be fun too. Absolutely. And on top of that, you do commissions. Like if I wanted a beautifully done invitation to a well, let's say a wedding or a party
Yeah,
or something
definitely.
like that, you would do that, and then it could be run off. Is that the idea? And printed with
Yes.
your
Yeah.
beautiful handwriting.
So I, as well as being a calligrapher, I'm a graphic designer and a foil press printer. So I do everything out of my home studio here in Kingston. I specialize in luxury wedding stationery, and I serve clients really all over the world, mainly in North America. But yes, so I specialize in envelope calligraphy, of course, as well as foil printed invitations, letterpress invitations, that sort of thing for weddings and parties and things like that.
But if you had somebody on your shopping list, your Christmas gift list, who just wants to, they've always got nice handwriting, but they like
Yes.
handwriting. You have this kit that would
Yep.
be a wonderful gift. Can you tell me what's in that kit?
Definitely, yeah. So for this year, with support from the City of Kingston, I launched a subscription box called the Letter Writers Club. So in this box, whether you purchase it as a standalone box, that's an option, or as a year-long subscription, you'll get everything you need to send beautiful handmade letter writing stationery. So letter writing sets, wax seal stickers, vintage Canada postage sets, writing utensils, washi tape, foil pressed note cards, you name it. And it's all kind of tailored to the season. So if you do get that subscription, of course, right now it's very wintry and Christmassy themed, but for springtime, it'll be a little bit brighter, some more spring florals and things like that.
I was just thinking that it seems like we've come full circle in a sense. I can remember my mother used to sit down and write to her girlfriends, because in those days long distance calls were extremely expensive and you didn't pick up the phone, you just didn't. And she would write, pages and pages, and then each week she'd get a letter back from them, pages and pages of what was going on in their life. And then telephone calls became a lot cheaper. You could phone people and it wouldn't cost so much. But then we've come all the way around to emails, where we're back to sending long, keep in touch kind of emails
the
to each other.
correspondence, yeah.
It seems to have come full circle.
Definitely.
The one thing I did discover when I went from phone calls to doing more emails is how my friends can't spell. That I learned,
Yes.
which was a bit of an eye-opener to me. But so now, wouldn't it be fun if you got back into doing handwriting again?
Yes.
To be able to, and it's impressive. It's impressive to have
Yeah.
decent handwriting.
Absolutely. And what's better than receiving a beautiful piece of mail? Just that's handwritten, beautiful stamps, thoughtfully put together. You don't have to be a calligrapher to send beautiful snail mail. But I find it just sparks joy to get that little piece of mail and have that personal connection, as opposed to this very digital world that we live in.
Yeah, and if you're sending out Christmas cards, for
Of
example,
course.
I mean, because that tends to be, or even through the year, birthday cards. So you put a beautiful, something other than what's in the card itself, and you add your own little personal note in beautiful handwriting. I could just see how special that would be.
For sure. Yeah, it's a nice
Yeah.
way to connect with people and connect with loved ones, and maybe even folks who you haven't connected with that much over the year. It's a nice kind of touch point to kind of remind them, like, I'm thinking of you and I care about you. So
And you have a website, you have
I do.
a presence, so tell us all about that. If anybody would like this kit, which I think would make a dynamite Christmas gift.
it really would. Yes.
Or maybe run a party, have a party to spruce up your handwriting.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
where can people find out about
So
you?
my website is codycalligraphy.com. You can also find me on Instagram at Cody Calligraphy. And I have 2 workshops coming up in January at Something in the Water Brewing. They're called Pens and Pints, so you can come on down and grab a beverage of choice and learn a creative skill. You can also find out more about wedding stationery and event stationery on my website, as well as check out my online store for the Letter Writers Club subscription box.
Well, thank you so much for coming in to tell me about this.
Thank you for having me.